somebody drove through a crowd on Bourbon Street in New Orleans, so I'm gonna see what's going on with it. Okay, just a minute.
Obviously, the mayor called this a terrorist attack.
Okay, let me get it right so y'all can see it.
An act of domestic terrorism where somebody intentionally tries to cause harm in a mass casualty type event. You just heard an explosion in the French Quarter, and we saw that video live. It's not video, it was actually live television of police officers walking down the street looking for what appeared to be suspicious packages or devices, and it looks like they're continuing. Let me put my glasses on. It looks like they're continuing to do that. Yeah, Trevor, so we just had a second explosion here in the French Quarter. They screamed fire in the hole a second time, and they detonated what sounded like another type of explosive device. You see some people from Special Operations and the bomb squad working right down the street. I think photojournalist Stefan Cage has zoomed in on them right now. So again, just to kind of set the scene here, the FBI alluded to the fact that there was an IED type device that they were investigating because they feel like the suspect may have had that when he came into the French Quarter to do the harm that he did. A state police trooper called in a suspicious device. We were cleared off of Bourbon Street. We're on Dauphine right now in Orleans. About 5 minutes ago, we heard the bomb squad scream, fire in the hole, and we heard it sounded like a firecracker going off. And just about 30 seconds ago, or about 30 seconds before you came to me, we heard it again. Another fire in the hole and another detonation, which sounded like a firecracker going off. These aren't huge detonations. Some of the residents that live here are actually out watching right now, following what's going on. There were people on the balconies earlier, but again, because of this investigation leading to potential IEDs in the French Quarter, we have seen police doing massive sweeps here with the gloves, searching trash cans, searching under cars, everywhere here in the French Quarter. Teams of police officers, we showed you that live on TV, coming through looking for suspicious packages or anything out of the ordinary. They seem to have found one right on the corner of Bourbon in Orleans, right by the Tropical Isle Bar, which is a huge landmark for people wanting to party during Mardi Gras, New Year's Eve, other events in the French Quarter. But again, we have heard two small detonations from the Special Operations RV that came onto the scene down the street that you're looking at right now, and we'll continue to follow and monitor the situation here. Yeah, Fletcher, keep us posted because obviously there are multiple scenes here. The one on Bourbon Street where 10 people have been tragically killed at the hospitals.
10 people.
Several local hospitals. UMC, Baptist, Toro, more than 30 people taken to area hospitals. And we should point out, this is one of the biggest celebrations and the biggest days in New Orleans. We are a tourism city. The French Quarter is a tourism mecca. Bourbon Street at 3:15 a.m. was more than likely packed wall to wall with people, not just people coming to celebrate New Year's Eve in New Orleans, but also with the Sugar Bowl, which kicks off in just about 13 hours. Georgia and Notre Dame had large fan bases in the city. When it comes to those killed and injured, the police superintendent, Ann Kirkpatrick, about 90 minutes ago telling us they do know the demographic. They believe a lot of the people were local, but they can't confirm that with everybody. Let's go to Brittany Werner. She is at a different location near Royal Street. Brittany, what are you seeing? As we should point out, the French Quarter basically completely shut down right now.
Yeah, Travis,
I'm sorry about that.
Police officers and detectives over here investigating because that 8-block circumference is blocked off while this investigation continues. I'm going to step out of the way so you can see. I'm going to have our photojournalist Matt zoom in a little bit so you can kind of see detectives are on Bourbon Street. Now, this was a crazy situation. We know that, again, the FBI is now taking over this investigation as the lead concerning what happened here. Fletcher just mentioned that they heard two potential devices be detonated from where he's standing from that vantage point. Obviously, scary situation. We were told that one of the hotels over here was actually being evacuated. The tenants were being taken out. We haven't been able to confirm that, but we do see a lot of people starting to move around this morning. I actually spoke with a couple who witnessed that attack happen right before their eyes. They said if they had crossed the street a few moments sooner, they too would have been injured in this attack. But they watched that car plow into a crowd of people. They heard the the screams and they saw the aftermath and saw the actual event happen. So scary situation for everyone involved, everyone who witnessed this, all of the people who were impacted by losing loved ones or having loved ones be injured.
So far, 10 people are deceased.
Said that the time this happened in the French Quarter, so obviously a large presence that was in the French Quarter on this busy night. We expected to have a lot of people. There was a lot of traffic on Canal and Bourbon because obviously it's always traffic at that time of night, but it was New Year's Eve and going into New Year's Day, so obviously lots of people who were out bumper to bumper. So the couple that I spoke with who witnessed this says they don't even know how the man had that much speed to make it through those other cars, because cars were bumper to bumper last night as, you know, all of the festivities were happening. People said that, you know, they were having fun and it quickly after this event happened. So right now, you know, we've confirmed 10 people dead following this incident.
Wow.
Around 30 people or more hospitalized at area hospitals all around. Again, the FBI now investigating.
Suspect is unalive, deceased.
So they were working to see if those were active, and Fletcher mentioned that
New Orleans on Bourbon Street.
When possible, 2 of those explosive devices were detonated.
Grayson.
So, you know, this is unfolding, getting a lot deeper as we learn more about what's happening here. But we're supposed to get an update from city leaders once again at 11 this morning to kind of iron out more of those questions that we have. You know, we're told that the suspect in this situation is dead now. We have that confirmed. So it's a lot of unanswered questions here. A lot of people worried and concerned considering what happened. But for now, we're going to send it back to you in the studio, Travis.
All right, Brittany, thank you very much. We're going to get to Anam Siddiqui in just a moment. She's now at the Jack's Brewery, which is becoming another site right now. Obviously, so much going on in the French Quarter after what the mayor is calling a terrorist attack. Somebody driving a vehicle down Bourbon Street, going around the bollards some kind of way, or at least a barricade if the bollards weren't up, killing 10 people, injuring 30 plus. The mayor spoke about 90 minutes ago, giving an update to everybody as the world is watching this right now. This is probably the biggest story across America, if not the world right now. This attack on the United States in the city of New Orleans, just about 3:15 a.m. Let's take a listen to what Mayor LaToya Cantrell had to say about this when she spoke to the media.
We do know that the city of New Orleans was impacted by a terrorist attack. It's all still under investigation. You'll hear more with the White House, with Governor Land, and of course a unified command who is present here. What I'm asking at this time are prayers for those who have lost their lives in the city of New Orleans due to this tragedy. In addition to that, I'm asking the public to stay clear of 8 blocks around Bourbon Street. Stay clear from Bourbon Street, 8 blocks around. Very active, and again, a unified command is in place right now. I'm going to ask Chief Kirkpatrick to give you an update. You're then going to hear from our agent in charge.
And as you heard the mayor just say, the White House
I
has
wanted y'all to
President
read.
Joe Biden is in Wilmington, Delaware. He is heading to Camp David. He is in constant contact, it's our understanding, with the FBI and with the mayor, and will be briefed. Everybody wants to know who the person is, why did this happen, why did he target New Orleans?
Right.
These are answers that we may not get for several days, I take.
Well, I think you'll find out who the person is today. I think you'll find out today. I think you'll find out, are there potentially other people involved in this, or is it just one person who's involved in this entire scenario? And then what we have to look at is, what are these other IEDs that are going off? What are the other ones being disrupted? Are these situations where you're taking these devices, you're running them through an X-ray, you see wires, they go ahead and use a disruptor, which is like a shotgun shell. They disrupt the device, and then they're finding more in different places. With the game going on, how do you protect against that with all these people going to the game from all different locations? What do you do about people who are pre-gaming with ice chests, with other bags that look like that? Or is there anyone else involved in this? So there's still a lot to be considered. I think that's why your press conferences are so far off. That one, we're dealing with the immediate casualty and the people who are still, unfortunately, in the crime scene, and then going further and putting a plan together for acceptance of this game and how to get people in and out of the game safely.
Yeah, look, and when you talk about things like this, there are so many hotels in the French Quarter. We have about 30,000 hotel rooms in this city. If I read correctly on a story that we did, and I believe it is correct, obviously, they're about 85% occupancy right now. There are so many people who are at hotels. I'm going to use a hotel, for example. The Royal Sonesta. It's in the 300 block of Bourbon Street. They have the Bourbon Orleans right there. They have so many boutique hotels. Is there
He shot 2
Are you
officers.
telling people to, hey, stick around your hotel lobby right now because so many people are downtown in the quarter waking up right now at 8 a.m. and learning about this attack?
I guess you didn't ask me no question.
All right, we're going to get back to Mike Kahn in a second, but if you are waking up at 8 a.m. with us, we are covering major breaking news. A mass carnage event in the city of New Orleans. What the mayor is describing as a terror attack. Someone just after 3:15 a.m. drove a white pickup truck down Bourbon Street, somehow getting around either the bollards in place or the barricade. The mayor tells us they were intentionally trying to cause carnage, either hurt or kill people, and they did just that. 10 people have been killed, more than 30 sent to area hospitals. The driver, who is not being identified, then wrecked that street in the 100 block. To give you landmarks, not far from Redfish Grill or the Crystal Burger, that is right there off Canal. They exchanged gunfire with the NOPD. It is believed that the suspect was shot and killed. 2 NOPD officers shot and injured. They are at UMC, that is University Medical Center, where they are said to be in stable condition. We are going to get back to Mike Kahn.
We are on the air with an NBC News special report as you have been watching our local station, WDSU.
Let's see what they say.
It's 9 o'clock now on the East Coast, 8 a.m. in New Orleans, where at least 10 people have been killed after a man driving a truck intentionally plowed into a crowd celebrating New Year's on Bourbon Street in the French Quarter. Police say he then opened fire, shooting 2 officers who are now in stable condition. In all, more than 30 people are being treated at local hospitals. 2 federal law enforcement sources tell NBC News the driver, the suspect, is dead, as police also investigate an improvised explosive device that was found in the area as well. This horrific attack, as the city's police chief said, this person was hell-bent on carnage, is happening just hours before the Sugar Bowl is set to kick off in New Orleans, drawing college football fans from Georgia, from Notre Dame to the Superdome, just about a mile away from Bourbon Street, where this attack happened. I want to bring in now our NBC News law enforcement and intelligence correspondent, Tom Winter, who's been working his sources. He joins us now on the phone. Tom, what else are we learning?
Hallie, at this time, they're obviously investigating the motive. It is possible that something was found either on the vehicle that has helped them get to the point where they're starting to circle this. The fact the FBI has taken over the investigation is clearest indication that they have developed some motive information, because otherwise this would be investigated as a local homicide. And obviously at least 10 homicides at this point. When the FBI gets involved, traditionally and typically, that's an indication that there's a violation, obviously, of federal law. And so the federal law violation here would have to do with potentially motives. And so that's the reason why I think you heard the mayor reference the idea of terrorism. The assistant special agent in charge who spoke at the press conference wouldn't go that far. But clearly the FBI standard as far as calling it that and what the direction of the investigation are 2 different things. So they're going to want to make sure from the federal perspective that they have the motive locked in and concrete, that just because somebody had something on their person doesn't necessarily mean that that ultimately was what the motive was. But I do think that they're coming towards a path where they're at least suspecting the idea of terrorism, and that's apparently a little bit as far as where the investigation is going. What will ultimately be determined, well, we'll find that out over time as they obviously uncover more evidence and do more work. As our colleague Ken Delanian has been reporting, 2 senior U.S. law enforcement officials to NBC News, saying that the suspect, the person who drove what is now being described to us as a pickup truck, that individual is deceased. And we have some unconfirmed photos from the scene, which, if are in fact accurate, indicate a vehicle with significant damage. A pickup truck appears to be late model, and we're still waiting on getting some more information on that. So obviously, a lot of details that are out there. The truck, if those photos are confirmed, Hallie has a license plate. That could be helpful. If it was a rental, they might know who rented it. If it was a car that belonged to a person, they would know that. If it's stolen, that's even helpful information. So clearly they're going to be able to develop a lot. Clearly they've probably already developed a lot, and a lot of that is ahead of where we are in our reporting, as you would understand, and that would make sense. But either way, there's a tragedy that has occurred here. As you know, Hallie, we've spoken about these incidents far too often. Typically, I say, okay, this is the part where it'll slow down. They'll take their time. They'll uncover things. But I think here, Hallie, given the fact we have a Sugar Bowl that is going to be happening in New Orleans tonight, there will certainly be an effort here to push this investigation at a much faster pace to make sure that they're not looking at any other potential incidents for later today or later this evening.
Tom Winter, thank you very much. I'd like you to stay close if you can, as we expect to get more updates.
I'm about done with this, y'all.
New Orleans. I want to show you now there more video from the immediate aftermath of the scene. What we are just now learning, what we're just now seeing, and I want you to listen because in this short clip we're about to play you, you can hear what sounds like gunshots fired. Watch.
Yes.
So no audio on that clip.
No.
But you can see the images here. Just a gut punch to look at this in the French Quarter. Bourbon Street, perhaps one of the most famous streets in America. A huge New Year's Eve celebration. And just about 3:15 this morning, an eyewitness tells NBC News he saw this pickup truck going perhaps 8 to 10 blocks. Evie Pomporis, former special agent. Evie, thank you for being here with us. Now the updates from law enforcement.
It's on NBC, where it's on all the news stations. But I saw it and I was like, sorry I don't have my light on. Well, the second story of the day. No, the first one. Dang. That's why I say, y'all, that's all. This is Valentine TV, y'all. Please hit the subscribe button if I helped with the video in any way. I know it was all over the place. Could you please hit the like button so it can get out for other people to see? And I want to thank y'all for tuning in. Because I had to do it quick. I'm sorry I couldn't make it cute for you. But, yeah. Alright, I love y'all. Y'all be safe out there. And Happy New Year. I'm so sorry. Lord, let's pray we got to pray for the people, the families. 10 people passed at the hospital, and there's 26 more at the hospital. They shot 2 police, but the police are recovering. And then they got some, something where they planted two went off, and they shooting out like nails. You know what I'm saying? Or bullets. They shooting them out. They had 2 to go off this morning. And they think that maybe some more planted somewhere. So they're asking everybody to stay inside. Oh, Lord. All right. Well, this is Valentine TV. All right. I love y'all. And I'll keep watching and see what else I can find. My phone. Okay. All right. Good. Well, talk to you later.